Hey guys, it's me Greg, and today we're going to talk about a survival knife. This is the Grylles Ultimate Pro knife. They used to have an Ultimate, now they have the Pro. And this one's been upgraded, and it's made by Gerber. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically give you all the pointers of the knife and the sheath. We'll do the sheath first, then we'll do the knife itself, and I'll give you the pros and cons, what I think about this knife. So as you can see, you have the knife in its sheath. It's very well secured in the sheath. It has a strap around the handle, and when you go to pull it out of this sheath, it's in there fairly secure. So we'll talk about the sheath first. This sheath is a ballistic nylon. It has a strap for your belt on the back. Here on the end, there's a little survival book that comes with this knife. So, you know, if you're new and you just have this in a knapsack and you don't want to, you know, do your survival skill training or whatever, at least you have something you can pull out. This is like those old batteries, has a little loop, so you just push it in there, and basically that way it's real easy to get out. It has a Velcro strap for the top of the knife. The sheath I already showed you when you pull it out, very secure in there. It also has a fire starter, which I'll show you in just a minute. It has rubberized grips on the side here. That's so when you're holding it, you can take the knife like this with this end pointed up and pull the knife to the right and sharpen this. There's a small steel sharpener in there. If you were left-handed, you could take these screws out, take that little steel sharpener in there and put it on the other side. Then you would hold it left-handed and go this way. This is a plastic cover which holds the knife and protects it. This is a drain hole, so if you're caught in the rain, it'll drain out. So the pros and cons of the sheath. It's a lightweight sheath, which is nice. It holds the manual, which is good. It holds a fire starter, which is good. It does have a drain hole, which is good. A couple things that people don't like about this knife is this strap for your belt. It'll go up to about a 2-inch belt, but it's a very tight strap. It's hard to get a belt in there, and it does not have any way to hold a dangler on unless you got your own carabiner or something like that. When you're sharpening the knife, you're to hold it like this and pull the knife left to right, left to right. That little sharpener will sharpen the knife from about right here, all the way up to the tip of the blade. Okay, from here. So that little part won't get sharpened. Really, as a con, this sharpener, first off, that's kind of dangerous holding it like that. I would rather see you either, you know, put it up here and pull it this way, or set it down on the flat, so when you put your knife, you're supposed to have this knife flat against these orange things so you can keep it, you know, and hold it flat on something and go like that. It's not the best sharpener in the world. It's really for honing, so if your knife was sharp before you left, after every, you know, little small task you're doing, you can go ahead and sharpen it back up. But I would really carry a better sharpener with you. So that's that on the sharpener. This little fire rod, it's really in there. It's hard to get out. There's a little clip under here. Basically, you're supposed to pull this up and pull out. Look, I'm old. That's going to cause me fits. In the winter time, I'm not going to like that. So basically, if you know ahead of time that's the case, you can just kind of pry it up, and that'll just save you a lot of time. If you really want to modify it, you can, you know, just sandpaper down that little nub there and be done with it. This is the fire rod. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Okay, so that's the knife sheath. Knife itself, some of the details on this is, it has a 4 1/8 inch blade. It's about a 20th of an inch thick on the spine. It does have a space ground out that you'll strike your fire rod on that has a true 90-degree edge right here. And you can, if you feel it, you'll feel it's a little bit different than that edge, so that helps aiding in sparking a fire. It does have a drop tip point, which makes the blade stronger. It has this PDV coating, which will help assist in the longevity of the knife, but eventually this will wear, it will scratch. You know, you should still clean your knife after uses, and you should still use some mineral oil for the rest of it. The knife edge Goes all the way from the choy to the tip of the knife, which is good. The old one had the serrated edges, which are a real pain to sharpen even if you can at home. If this blade is good and sharp, it'll cut rope just fine. And that's what serrated edges were, supposedly better at. But that's good. The finger choy is great, so if you want to hold your knife, you can put your finger in and your thumb up here and do small little whittling or fine detail work. Okay. It does have a nice bevel here, so when you're doing fire sticks, it'll help you in the correct position. The tang of the knife goes all the way through down to the bottom of this handle. The pommel is flat. The skins or handle blades are rubberized, some kind of polymer or whatever. They are put in with screws, and they're whatever these things are that for the lashing holes. They're not coming off, trust me. It does have a 4-finger grip on it, and it does have a hole for a lanyard. It also comes with a whistle. The whistle was here in the lanyard hole, and I'll talk about that. So, the pros and cons of the knife itself. Well, first we'll do the whistle first. I took the whistle off because I'd rather have a regular lanyard on here. That way if you're whacking something or really hitting it hard, if that knife tends to fall out of your hand or fly out of your hand, it's not going to go stick somebody or something that you don't want stuck. So the whistle, I carry in my pack, or I put around my neck on another string or whatever. But it is a good little whistle, for what it is. So it's free. I'm not going to complain. It's kind of like the knife sharpener on there. It's really not great, but it was free. But hey, but the whistle at least works better than the knife sharpener. Knife itself, for me personally, now this is a personal note, the handle with this 4-finger thing here, it's a little uncomfortable for me. It doesn't quite fit. My hand's a little large, so sometimes this knife handle should be just a hair longer. But, for most people this is great, and after a while you kind of get used to it. But to me, if you were doing a lot of work with this knife, it would probably cause myself a little bit of fatigue and make my hand, but I'm older. So other than that, it does have a nice finger stop here, so if you're poking something or you're trying to split wood like this, your hand's not going to run down the blade, which is great. The pommel is flat, which is nice if you want to knock in some tent stakes, or if you have a piece of small wood you're using it as a wedge to get into a bigger piece of wood, or you just want to mash something up because you're cooking some kind of spices like garlic or something. That's going to work pretty well. It has the 3 holes here, which is nice. You can lash this knife to a stick and make a spear. Okay. As far as the blade and everything goes, like I said, I did like the tang, but I'm not real great at the blade. To me, personal opinion, survival knife should be about another 1.5 inches longer, about 6 inches, somewhere in there, 5.5, 6 inches, 5 3/4, just so you can process a little bit bigger wood and chop down maybe 3-inch or 4-inch seedlings or saplings without having the little dinky trees, without having to be there all day. But this will do a nice job on about a 2-inch, 2.5-inch, small log you had. If you want to put it on top and baton it through, that'll work good. It'll be great for making some fire sticks and some whittling, cutting meat. If it's a real sharp edge, skinning some stuff. So all in all, they did a pretty good job on this knife. For the price point, you really can't beat it. I'm pretty happy with it. So now, why am I talking about this fire stick? This fire stick is a steel stick, and it's made to make sparks. So most people, when they're out in the woods, they'll usually carry some cotton balls with them. But if you can't, they'll make fire sticks very, very thin shavings of wood, or they'll just whittle a bunch of small little shavings, or they get some dried out grass type really thin stuff, and they'll make a pile of it. But a lot of people will just take a cotton ball like this, and they'll pull it out. If you don't have a cotton ball and you happen to wear white athletic socks, you can always pinch your socks like that. Take a while, but you have a nice little pile. But basically, you would have this cotton ball, and before you go to strike this, you want to find the most dry stuff you can find. So you'd have this, and maybe over here you'd have a little pile of shaved, sticks or shaved whittling that you would have. Then maybe you'd have a fire stick, another pile over here. Then you'd have a little bit bigger sticks, or however you're going to do it until you get to the 1-inch, 2-inch pieces. that you're finally going to throw on top. And the reason you want that is once you get this going, you want to put your shavings on, then you want to put your little bit bigger pieces on, then you want to put your, your little fire sticks you made, and you're kind of making it, crisscrossing over so that your fire will breathe and you're off to the races. Once you have a fire going, you always try to keep it going so you don't have to go through all this again. So I have my piece of cotton. I told you about this part. If you go onto the fire stick, you don't go like this, you don't go like this, okay? You really want to get in a, if you just rub this a little bit and tilt your knife, you'll feel where it grabs a little bit more, because this is a 90-degree edge. And so the two ways are, you can hold the fire stick like this, and I usually put my finger under it and push the knife down or pull the fire stick up. Or if you really kind of want to get precise, you can put the tip into a piece of wood like this and then put your thing under there and just pull up. So if you're in a damp situation and you really got some dry stuff and you want to make it count real quick, I would put my blade like that, pull it up, and there you go. We have manly fire. So that's my review of the Grylles Pro Knife, Ultimate Pro. Reasonably priced for the most part. Very good product. Just some personal preferences I didn't like. Right now I'd be adding my little stuff on there and building this up. It's just that easy to make fire. So guys, I hope you appreciated this. Have a great day.